The xenobiological research station Kepler's dream drifted silently through the void, its hull scarred by micrometeorite impacts accumulated over 2 decades of deep space exploration. Dr. Elena Vasquez pressed her palm against the observation deck's reinforced viewport, watching the amber dwarf star Proxima Kepler 438 cast its dying light across the barren system they had come to study. Initial scans complete, Dr. Vasquez announced her research partner, Dr. James Chen, as he manipulated the holographic display suspended above the central console. The planet's archaeological sites are exactly where the probe data indicated. Elena nodded grimly. Kepler 438b had once been home to the most advanced civilization humanity had ever encountered, the Zephyrians. For 3 centuries, they had been considered the apex predators of known space, the ultimate, alpha, species that had mastered faster-than-light travel millennia before humans had even discovered fire. The irony was not lost on her. "Bring up the excavation footage from Site Alpha 7, Elena commanded, her voice barely above a whisper. The hologram flickered, revealing the skeletal remains of what had once been a magnificent crystalline city. Towering spires, now reduced to glittering fragments, stretched toward a sky that would never again witness their former glory. The Zephyrians had built their civilization from living crystal matrices, organisms that could grow, adapt, and self-repair. Their technology was so advanced it seemed like magic to the first human explorers who had discovered their ruins. Dr. Chen adjusted the spectral analysis overlay. Carbon dating confirms it. The extinction event occurred approximately 847 years ago. Right around the time of the first human expansion. Elena's stomach tightened. She had spent her entire career studying the Zephyrians, learning their language from recovered data crystals, piecing together fragments of their culture and society. They had been peaceful, highly intelligent beings who resembled elongated humanoids with iridescent skin that could photosynthesize starlight. Their bodies were perfectly adapted for their low-gravity world, with 4 arms ending in delicate, articulated fingers capable of manipulating matter at the molecular level. "Show me the xenological profile again," she requested. The hologram shifted to display a 3-dimensional reconstruction of a Zephyrian. Standing nearly 3 meters tall, the creature's graceful form seemed to dance even in stillness. Its large, multifaceted eyes could perceive across 17 different electromagnetic spectra simultaneously. Most remarkably, they possessed a collective consciousness network, a quantum-entangled neural web that allowed instantaneous communication across their entire species, regardless of distance. "They were gods compared to us," Dr. Chen muttered, manipulating the display to show their technological achievements. Dyson spheres around 3 different stars. Terraforming capabilities that could transform dead worlds into gardens within decades, spacecraft that could traverse galactic distances in mere hours. Elena had read the classified archives. When humanity first encountered evidence of the Zephyrians in 2387, panic had swept through the United Earth government. Humanity was still struggling with basic interstellar travel, barely managing to establish colonies within a 50-light-year radius of Earth. The discovery that a supremely advanced alien civilization existed nearby had triggered the largest military buildup in human history. "Access file designation, Prometheus Protocol," Elena said quietly. "Elena, you know that's beyond our clearance level," Dr. Chen warned. "Override, Vasquez 77 Alpha Tango." The hologram hesitated, then complied. Elena's great-grandfather had been Admiral Carlos Vasquez, architect of humanity's first and only xenocide. Her family's security clearance had been passed down through generations. A burden she carried like a lead weight in her chest. The classified files materialized in the air between them. Admiral Vasquez's weathered face appeared in the mission briefing recorded 847 years ago. The Zephyrian civilization represents an existential threat to human expansion and survival, his recorded voice stated with cold military precision. "Intelligence suggests they are aware of our presence and are beginning preliminary defensive preparations. We cannot allow them to make the first move." Dr. Chen stepped back from the console. "Elena, what exactly did we do to them?" She forced herself to continue reading. The Prometheus Protocol had been humanity's darkest hour disguised as its finest. Human scientists had discovered that the Zephyrians' greatest strength, their quantum-entangled collective consciousness, was also their greatest vulnerability. We weaponized their own network against them, Elena whispered. Created a quantum virus that spread through their consciousness web instantaneously. Within 4.7 seconds, every Zephyrian in the galaxy experienced simultaneous neural cascade failure. The hologram displayed the technical specifications. The virus had been designed to target the specific neural pathways that enabled their collective consciousness. When activated, it created feedback loops that overloaded their quantum-entangled minds, causing massive cerebral hemorrhaging across their entire species simultaneously. But they were peaceful, Dr. Chen protested. Every archaeological record we found shows they were explorers, artists, philosophers. They had the capability to annihilate us, Elena interrupted, quoting her great-grandfather's justification. That was enough. The observation deck fell silent except for the soft humming of life support systems. Through the viewport, Kepler 438b continued its eternal orbit around its dying star, a monument to the consequences of fear and preemptive violence. Elena accessed the final classified file, post-mission analysis conducted 50 years after the Zephyrian extinction. The truth was even more damning than she had imagined. They knew we were coming, she read aloud. Intercepted communications show they were preparing to make first contact. They had been observing human civilization for centuries, waiting for us to develop sufficient technology for meaningful communication. They were excited to meet us. Dar. Chen slumped into a nearby chair. We murdered them for planning to say hello. The weight of generational guilt pressed down on Elena's shoulders. Humanity had inherited the galaxy not through superiority or natural selection, but through an act of unprecedented cosmic genocide. They had eliminated the most advanced civilization in known space because they had been afraid of their own inferiority. There's something else, Elena said, her voice barely audible. She pulled up the final document, a quantum archaeological analysis completed just last month. We think some of them might have survived. The hologram displayed quantum signature readings from the planet's core. Faint but unmistakable patterns suggested the presence of dormant consciousness matrices, Zephyrian minds that had somehow shielded themselves from the quantum virus and entered a state of suspended animation. How many? Dr. Chen asked. Potentially thousands. Maybe tens of thousands. They've been sleeping beneath the planet's surface for nearly 9 centuries, waiting. Elena stared at the readings, knowing that their discovery would change everything. Humanity would have to face the survivors of their greatest atrocity. They would have to confront the living remnants of the civilization they had destroyed out of fear and ignorance. The Alpha species had never truly been eliminated, they had simply been waiting for the right moment to return. And Elena suspected that moment was rapidly approaching.